Greetings, my friends! There are those out there who believe that farmers are low IQ people. Are there some things that farmers do which validate these points? Let's find out. To begin with, it is absolute madness, in my view, that we are using poison to grow our food. In my opinion, all food should be grown organically, without any use of pesticides or other poisons that are sprayed on it. Indeed, many of the farmers who actually grow huge monoculture crops and spray them will also grow a small vegetable garden for their family on the side. And guess what? They don't spray that with chemicals. Now, why do farmers use poisonous chemicals in the first place? Well, the answer is very simple. They do it because it makes their job a lot easier. You see, when you are growing a huge monoculture in a vast field and you need to eliminate weeds so as to increase production, and those weeds have actually been created because of tilling, which is another very big discussion about no-till farming, then you might actually think that the best course of action is to use a special poison which only targets the weeds and leaves your crops alone. But does it really leave your crops alone? Or does it leave a residue which is harmful to human health? The problem in that case is that the farmer cares about his pocket way more than he cares about the health of the people who will eat his crops. But at this point, I'd like to actually suggest that it also doesn't make financial sense to not do organic farming exclusively. For a simple reason: organic produce will always reach a higher price. Why does it fetch a higher price? Because there are people who care about their health and also about the nutrition that exists in a certain crop. And for this last point, it doesn't really have to do so much with organic farming as it has to do with local farming, eating local. Because there are some crops that when they have to travel, they are picked very unripe, so they do not obtain all the nutrition they were supposed to from the soil, because they need to pick them unripe so they can ripen while they travel. If they picked them ripe and then they had to travel for several days, they would reach their destination rotten. But you can see how this impacts the nutritional value that this crop has inside of it. So farmer red card number 1 is not growing organically. So even though organic farming is more labor intensive, it does make a lot of sense from a moral but also from a financial perspective. And the other thing that farmers do wrong, which also breaks farming as a profession, is that they don't try to reach the final consumer directly. What this means is that they are forced to produce a lot more, which moves them more to those massive production models, because the bigger part of the profit is made by the merchants, whether they are a big supermarket chain or some other kind of outlet that will sell the produce of that farmer. When the simple thing that the farmer could do would be to reach his customers directly. This would allow him to make a living without needing to resort to mass agriculture. So if these are the two problems that have broken farming, these are the solutions. Number 1, you grow organically. And how are you going to sell your organic produce to uninformed markets? Put some effort into advertising it. Educate people about why it is important to eat organic, how they're avoiding health problems down the line, and how, when they are combining organic farming with local produce, they are also increasing their nutritional value. So what does it matter if they have to eat slightly less in quantity when in the same package they get more nutrition because of higher quality? It ends up being the same or actually even better. Because, for example, if you compare a mass-produced egg with an egg that is produced locally and in an organic way by being fed a complete natural diet, the nutritional value is night and day, and you can feel that in the taste. One looks like condensed water, and the other looks like an actual egg. And the second thing that would fix farming is reaching your customers directly. Delivering produce to your customer's house or place of convenience is a very big asset that usually big supermarkets or other big chains do not possess. So there is a big unexploited possibility there. If you manage to win your customers' trust, I don't see the reason why they would not prefer to buy your organic produce compared to the other non-organic poison-sprayed stuff that they can find in the supermarket, especially if your produce just costs slightly more than that, and especially if you can actually deliver it to their doorstep. That's a very convenient thing, and it's not so difficult for you to do. So if one could take a step back and envision the agriculture of the future, that would be small farms producing healthy, nutrient-rich food, no hydroponics or such nonsense, which will never reach the complexity of ingredients that something grown in the soil as it's supposed to has, and which is delivered to their doorstep by you, creating a personal relationship with your customers and a relationship that is based on trust. And all farmers would do well, for the sake of their soul as well as their pocket, to always remember that all human relationships are built on trust. Thanks for watching.